there is something that needs to be addressed, and it's that Vincent Price is one of the greatest actors of all time. Now, Vincent Price is an actor that left such a big impact on Hollywood that I think, I still see him regularly being talked about all these years later, and that's great. He's known for playing a lot of great dastardly villains and playing characters with sort of a campy sort of charm, and also known for being a really nice guy in real life, very progressive and ahead of his time, very supportive of his daughter when she came out as gay, and according to his daughter, apparently he was like either gay or bisexual too. I mean, he was married to a woman, but it seems like he was also interested in men too, and kind of during a time where it was hard to come out, but he was very much ahead of his time, and so he's known for being a great actor and a great person. That's great to hear. Like, when I hear more stories about what Vincent Price was like as a person, it makes me admire him even more. It's not one of those stories where you hear about an actor and, oh, they did some bad stuff even though they're a great actor. When it comes to Vincent Price, I hear stories about what a gentleman he was, and what a delight he was to work with. Like Yvonne Craig, who played Batgirl, like talked about how like he was like the nicest of the villain guest stars to work with, and that's wonderful. So, but when it comes to terms of acting, I think Vincent Price, he had an type of acting that was just so unique and so much his own. He really knew how to steal the show and really make stuff his own. Like, if you want to know how big of a scene stealer he was in Edward Scissorhands for like 5 minutes. And that's a movie starring Johnny Depp, one of the greatest actors of his generation, and Vincent Price completely stole the show. Like, when I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a movie where Vincent Price shows up for 5 minutes and he's awesome. That should tell you how amazing it is that he can steal the show from Johnny Depp of all people. Johnny Depp, an actor that usually steals the show from everyone else, and Vincent Price is his acting is incredible. Vincent Price is one of my favorite leading men. Here's like a bust I have of him. Vincent Price, when it comes to certain actors I like, I might be like, oh, this movie has this actor I like. Maybe I'll like it. But when it comes to Vincent Price, usually with actors I like, I'm like, well, I like this actor, but this movie doesn't really seem like something I'd enjoy, or, I have to really think about whether or not I want to watch it. But when it comes to Vincent Price, I'm like, he's the star of the movie. I am sold. You don't need to tell me anything else about this movie. I will watch it and I will enjoy it. Because his acting was just that good. He's just that much of a delight to watch, and a lot of the old movies he was in were just so much fun, and he would just pick roles that would just really let him shine, and he was just so enjoyable. Not a horror fan, but such a big Vincent Price fan that I would watch horror films that he was in, and at least for me, his horror movies weren't really that scary, and they were just enjoyable. They were fun, and that should tell you what a great actor was. He can make me appreciate one of my least favorite genres, horror, more. That is great. Vincent Price, the acting role that really made me notice him was playing Egghead in 60s Batman. 60s Batman being one of my favorite shows of all time, and Vincent Price played Egghead, a villain with egg puns, and Vincent Price was such an amazing actor that he managed to make a villain that was obsessed with eggs and make egg puns one of the most entertaining Batman villains. Like, Egghead could have easily been lame. He could have just been like, just like, what? He steals eggs, who cares? That's so silly. He made Egghead awesome. Egghead was hilarious. He was oddly sophisticated. I mean, look at this suit. That is so fancy. And he was just so much fun, and one of my favorite Batman villains is Egghead. Like, not all time favorite, because of course, like Riddler and Joker and Penguin, but I think probably my favorite villain created, not for the comics, but for like a TV show, is Egghead, because he was just so enjoyable, and Vincent Price did an amazing, excellent job as Egghead. He managed to make the character work, managed to make him smart and menacing by that show's standards, and but still so much fun. And Vincent Price, he was not an actor that's like, oh, I'm this fancy, sophisticated actor. He was like, he was honored to be in '60s Batman. I mean, he was this great actor that given all his good performances, but he wasn't like, oh, I'm cast as a character that gives egg puns. He was happy to be in '60s Batman. He was so humble and honored to be in it, and that's just wonderful. He was an actor that, he could be in horror movies, but he could also be in stuff for kids. He could be in Scooby Doo and give really great committed performances. And I feel like that's what you need out of a great actor. An actor that doesn't like stick his nose up in certain roles. An actor that gives passion in all the types of performances he's in, whether it's a leading role in a horror movie, a supporting role in a kid's show, playing a Batman villain that says puns, whatever your cast is, you should give passion. And that's what Vincent Price did and why he was so wonderful. Because no matter what he was cast in, he would just give these delightful, amazing performances. So Vincent Price, one of the great actors of all time, not just an actor that was kind of a fun genre actor and a few things. He was one of the great actors of all time, and one of the most lovable actors, just amazing, amazing, and has left such a huge impact on the world and is still an actor that is loved and should always be loved. Love, love, love Vincent Price.